Hello everyone. Welcome to today's v1.8 retro meeting. This is cluster API release cycle meeting, and today is 14th of August, and my name is Mohammad Adil Ghaffar. And usual reminder, we follow CNC of code of conduct, which means being nice to each other. And yep, let's get started. So I have shared the document in the chat. Uh, so basically how we do it and how we did it in last cycle was we just we have these three questions here: what went well, what could be improved, and then we have action items. So I would give the team some time to fill in these first two things, like what went well and what could be improved. And then the action items, I we feel when we discuss this, we can create action items from them. And if there is anything extra that needs to be added, we can add them later, I believe. Uh, yeah, and I don't think there is any formal process for doing this retro, but this is how we did it last time, and I'm just following that. So I think 10, 15 minutes are enough. So you guys can fill this up. And yeah, let me know if there is any question you can ask. And if everyone is done before that, then just raise your hand. So if everyone is done before 15 minutes, we can start the discussion early.
Sorry, Jonathan. Hard to guess when we're, who gets the first bullet.
Yeah, that's fine. You can take it. I will probably create another.
Okay, gotcha.
Seems like everyone is done. Should we start, or anyone want to add anything else?
I'm good.
Okay, let's start with what went well. First one is release lead seem to have great rapport and quick communication. Yeah,
Yep, that was mine. It's just I'm an observer and I'm a newcomer, and it's just been lovely seeing you work together. So it seems like you've got this pretty well figured out.
yeah, it's pretty well documented. So it was yeah, it was nice with this in this release cycle. Yeah, then we have CI was okay most of the time during the release. Yeah, CI went. I think CI was pretty smooth this release cycle. I didn't see any like very big failures, or there were failures, but they were fixed pretty soon.
Yeah, that's kind of good, also not good. So,
Yeah, not good
we-
because the team
yeah,
didn't get to work on a lot of stuff. Yeah,
yeah, and then they were not very, at the end, not very interested
yeah, yeah,
to contribute because there was not stuff they were taking like not related to the CI. But I have a point in the
yeah,
upcoming section, so I will explain it later.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Then we have comms team was great in this release. Yeah, comms teams. I think in the comms team the tasks were also pretty divided in the team, because I see like multiple people from the comms team, they were creating release notes, which was pretty nice, I think. Chandan, you want
Yeah.
to add something?
Yeah, comms team seems good this time. Like multiple PRs or multiple environments I can see. But I think probably we can improve more on that in the next release cycle, hopefully.
Yep.
At least like whatever members there in the comms team at least should raise one PR, or like at least should raise one PR each release notes. Like that's what I will try to do from next.
Yep. Yep. Nice work, Chandan. The steps for comms team is well documented, good for new release team members. Yeah, yeah, that is good.
Yeah,
Then
I did not find any issues like when following the steps, like what I need to do. So I think it's all documented well. Yeah.
good, good. Um, then we have release leads, very communicative about action taken, which made it very easy to understand for newcomers.
Yep, that was mine too. Just
Yep.
it made for very easy following along in the meetings. Like I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna do this now. It was great.
Yep. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, these are the things that what could be improved. We need to discuss more. More involvement from all team members. Yeah, I agree with that, but also like for first I can add my comment, and then you guys can also add something here. For example, in release team, I wasn't sure like what tasks can I assign to my team members, and this was the question I asked my previous release cycle lead also, and he was also say like I'm not sure why we have release team members in release lead uh, role. In CI and comms, there are tasks that they can work on. In release lead, it's mostly like if the release lead is not available, then they can maybe cover up or something. But I I am a bit confused about this. So maybe we can discuss this with maintainers and remove the team members from the release lead. For next cycle 1.9, what I did is I just reduced the member from the release lead team from 5 to only 2. So if there is some few tasks, new release lead can assign to them, but there shouldn't be like a lot of members there. Yes, Daniel, you have raised hand.
That was gonna be my feedback, is like if you're gonna reduce the the number of team members in the release team, it totally makes sense to me to have a backup. So like maybe primary, secondary is a model that would work better. Because it seemed like, Adil, like you had you had everything covered.
Yeah, mostly in the previous release cycle, lead told me like most of the only thing that release lead has to do is the create the release on every Tuesday. And release the members, they can also do that if they want. I asked in few meetings if someone want to do, they can come and join. I think people were mostly busy, but I don't think it's a really big task that we need like a lot of members there. Sunat, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, so I can give the more perspective from the CI side. So basically, like team members were really interested in the beginning of it, and then we had like a long running all the flakes that were difficult to solve. That also slowed down, like kind of they drained their interest, and also not related to CI as one task, and it still didn't solve, and it was carried like around several release cycles. Then slowly they were not that much interested. Yeah, they were active in the meetings and stuff like that, but I kind of feel like this is my fault as well somehow. But what would like I don't know, like we can have some kind of documentation like to make them interested, like happy CI getting started documentation there, like we can list off some of the maintainers, like debugging sessions, and also explanations, like what type of tests we have, and how to reproduce like the flakes, or how to run the integration tests and each tests like properly, like for CI. And I know it's documented well in the copy book. Probably that one is like can be improved more. Uh, that's my idea actually.
Yeah, I agree. When there is a flake that is coming from a lot of previous cycle and it's very boring, yeah, people do lost and lose some interest in their meetings and stuff like that. When it comes to documenting the CI tasks and how to debug CI, this has been discussed before. We have a lot of meetings, recordings. I think I shared it with previous release cycle CI team. I can gather them up again. I'm not sure if they are added to the documentation or not. So we can add there. Otherwise, it's like in Kepi book, if you read it and go through like line by line and like actually put some focus on it, I mean, you can understand all the tests and how to run them. And but yeah, maybe there is some improvement that we can do there. Like I can add this in the action items that uh, improve CI tasks, or how is it? CI documentation,
Not CI documentation, probably like
CI debugging
like
steps.
yeah, CI debugging steps, I would say.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Just
like I can write up another like HackMD that is not that we don't have to put it in any documentation that like explains everything so thoroughly in separate place as well. That would be I think that's actually better, because we don't have to convince like maintainers to put it somewhere documented. So it could be separate.
I think maintainers will be pretty happy even if we put it in the release documentation. If it's helping the CI team, I think they should be shouldn't be any issue from the maintainers. Yeah.
The part is like, for example, there might be duplication information, duplicated information. For example, the information that's already covered in the copy book, and also
Okay.
and then it's delivered a little bit differently from the CI perspective to the reader. Like, so that's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Mm.
Sure. Anything else anyone want to add here? I think comms team was good in this respect, right? I think I saw a lot of comms team members
Yep.
creating PRs, and I'm not sure. I saw, I think, 3 members who created PRs, and I'm not sure how many members there were in the comms team.
Yeah, I think there was more two more member.
Okay.
So maybe they might be busy, but yeah,
Okay.
more involvement from 3 members only.
Okay. Okay. We can go to the next one, which is there were tasks that could not be solved quickly that drained the interest of the team. I think this is the same one as Sunna discussed before, right?
Yeah, that's like kind of, I already explained it altogether.
I think this is the story of CI. I mean, in every CI, it's like that. It's not just a cluster API, or I think if there is some flake that is happening for a long time, it's hard to find where it's happening, and it might get boring for the team and person who is working on it. Yeah. Stanius area, not specific to Kepi. Well documented. Getting started with KPCI documentation. We already have enough information that would be good to document for new release team members.
Yeah, that we discussed just now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want, you can make a HackMD file and we can pass it to the new CI team if they want to use it. And they can decide if they want to put it in the official Capi docs or just keep it in the HackMD file.
Yeah,
That's up to you.
so yeah, so we can keep it like at least at the beginning of this document as well.
Yeah, we can keep it here
So
also.
yeah, somewhere like yeah. Thank you.
And then we have expectations for the first time team members were well documented, but unclear how those expectations mapped to regular meeting responsibilities, inter-meeting responsibilities. It seemed like the leads and I kind of agree with that. Like, it's not clear what tasks should we assign to team members, especially when it comes to release team, release lead team. And I'm not sure what to do there. We had a big task in the start of the release cycle for the release team. I think one of the release team member worked on it, but it was a really big task. Other than that, most of the tasks, most of the responsibility in the release team is just creating the release. When it comes to CI and comms team, they have some lot of work that they can divide between each other. Especially CI. I mean, there is always some flake that you can work on. There's CI is never is like totally 100%. You can always find a flake to work on. But for the release, I kind of agree with this. It's not clear, not well documented. So I will add this in the action item. Um, reduce or discuss about the release not release team. I think it's called release lead team, I think.
Well, I kind of remember why we had this release team. I think this was copied from the Kubernetes upstream, and
Yeah.
probably, yeah, because we sometimes like try to experiment things that Kubernetes release team doing, and then sometimes it works well. Sometimes we need to little bit adjust ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to add anything? I think Daniel wrote this, right?
Oh yeah, that was mine. I mean, it sounds like you've already. I should have been more specific. Yeah, this was not about the CI or comms teams. But
Yeah.
it was really about the release. And like you've already said it, Dill. Like
Yeah.
it's like the team should probably just be smaller, or maybe just go instead of having a roster, go to
Yeah.
primary, secondary.
Yeah. I think that should be enough. Primary and secondary. Yeah. Um, yeah, it seemed like many steps of release steps required explicit approval from set of core maintainers, which might work fine in most cases, but seem like it could cause issues when actions are needed outside core maintainer working hours.
Yeah,
So
sorry, this was mine, Adil, too. I didn't see this as a problem happen during this cycle. It just it was notable to me, like, oh, we really do need to go check in with Stefan or you know or Philip and to have them hit the button every time. And it's like, okay, that's cool for governance. I can see the benefit of that for making sure that everything's getting checked off by a maintainer, but it's just like notable that there's no maintainers on the release team.
yes, yes. So I can explain you a little bit about this one. So it's a release lead responsibility to communicate with the maintainer and make sure that at least one maintainer is available when we are
Got
creating the
it.
release. Yeah. Um, most of the time Stephen is already there, so I didn't explicitly ask anyone to that we are creating a release. I just create a thread, and I think Stephen or Christian is always there. If one of them is on PTO, Fabrizio is sometimes there. So this is like we have to make sure that one maintainer is online. It's a responsibility of release lead. Um,
Yeah, just addition to that. I'm sorry, please, if you want to say something.
no, no, no. You can say what you want to say, Sunat.
Okay, yeah, I remember like when I first joined the release team, I remember they specifically mentioned that who will be on call like for the release, like from the maintainers. And Cecile, she worked at that time, and she said she would say that she would be on call whenever needed. She would immediately like go approve and GTM PRs. So yeah, now I think in these release cycles, mostly like Fabrizio and Stefan, uh, but they do not like we do not have a formal way of like saying that they will be available like the cycle. Most of the time they're available.
Yeah, I agree. There is no formal. I think, yeah, I remember in the previous not in the last one, in the release cycle before that, there was like whenever they were creating a release, they were like there was a specific maintainer for each release that was agreeing to that I will be available, so I can approve the PRs or something like that. But I think this went away in the last release cycle, and this one also, because most of the time one of the maintainer was always available. So I didn't explicitly ask any maintainer to be online. But yeah, I think it's a good thing that we should maybe ask that this might cause an issue in uh, someday that we want to approve a PR and no maintainer is available. Most of the time, this might happen during the summer vacations and when everyone is going on PTO and or maybe during the Christmas time. During those days, it's hard to find someone to approve PRs. So during those time, I think release lead should ask a maintainer to be available. But I think this is documented in the release docs. I will check again. If it's not, I will add it there. Next is release. Oh yeah, so this I added release docs seems outdated. Some steps need to be updated, or some need more to be more clear. Yeah, so I added this. So I was checking the release tasks. There are some things. For example, this homebrew PR that I have to create. It's outdated now. It's how it's explained in the notes. Now it's not like that. It's a little bit different. So that needs to be updated. I will create issue, or maybe I can open a PR for that fix. But I would suggest that for the next release cycle, go through the release tasks and try to see what is outdated and try to open PRs and improving those stocks. I can add these interaction items.
Sure. Thank you, Adil.
Okay, last one is there should be at least some code freeze time before release so that the release notes can be generated after that without last minute update. I think
Yeah.
Chandan added it, right?
Yeah, this one I added. So like I seen most of the times, like whenever we generate the release notes, we have to regenerate it again. Like there was some last minute PR got merged. So at least if we have some buffer or like code freeze time before the release notes generation, like before the next release cycle or next release the time. So probably that would help somehow, but
Yeah,
not sure how much it's feasible.
yeah, I agree that we should have something like that. We discussed it in the last release cycle also, but I'm not sure how feasible is this for the batch releases. For the minor release, I agree that we shouldn't merge anything
Mm.
like right before the release. For
Yeah,
the
minor release is fine.
minor releases, like there is always sometimes there is some backport PR that they need to merge, and
Yeah.
seems um I can add this also to action item. This needs to be discussed with the maintainers if they agree with this freeze time. Um,
Okay.
yeah, freeze time before the release.
Mostly for the patch releases, I think minor is fine.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. There's not much to add. One thing that I want to add here is I can add here. I missed that one. Team members. Yeah, so this also like this came up. I think in the comms team, I think a lot of team members are in the same time zone. And when we are doing the release, uh, there were some times that when the person who created the PR, they were not available to update it. So this would be I had to make sure in that this release cycle that they had the different time zone, but I don't think I checked that. But this is something that we can check in the next release cycle, that the people in the team are in different time zones, and if someone is going offline, there should be at least one person from that team available during the release process. So it would help. For example, if the PR is open and we need to update the release notes, it would be nice if there's someone available there. Most of the time it wasn't an issue. Like I think Chandan was always available.
Yeah.
But sometimes the person who created the PR, they were offline. But if Chandan is available, he can always push commit himself to that PR. It's totally fine. I don't think there's any issue there. But this is something we can improve, I think, when creating the team. What else? Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Overall, I think this recycle was pretty smooth. We didn't see any hiccups or anything like that. I remember there was a release cycle in which we have to delay the release because of CI issues, and I think it was 1.6. I don't remember. So, but this one was pretty smooth overall. We didn't see anything like that. And yeah, anything else you guys want to discuss? Or you have any question?
No, it was really good, and it was really nice to work with you all. And thank you, Adil, for leading this release cycle.
Yep, thank you,
And
Sunath.
thank you, everyone.
Yep, thank you, everyone.
Who are in the team, CI and comms team, everyone. Great work.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
work, everyone.
All
Great
good.
work. If nothing to add, we can close this meeting. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone. Bye bye.